Today is March 5th, and we're beginning to get whispers of a potential looming recession in the United States. According to some indicators, the first quarter of 2025 could potentially be on track for negative GDP growth. And when it comes to the why, the main data points here are a continuance of sticky inflation, currently sitting at 2.6%, combined with a slowdown in consumer spending, experiencing a decrease of 0.2% versus a forecasted gain of 0.1%. Also, we're seeing more headlines of a faltering in consumer confidence, which is a major potential sign in a slowing economy. But I think one of the best predictors and insights are actually betting markets. These are essentially a culmination of all previous data points. And here, when it comes to US GDP growth in Q1 of 2025, right now, most predictions are indeed negative, between -2 and -1% for Q1 of 2025. And when it comes to a general recession in 2025, the market puts this at a 37% chance, having experienced a recent rather significant uptick in probability. In other news, we do have developments around the ongoing feud between Trump and Zelensky, with Zelensky essentially ceding ground to Trump and wanting to mend their relationship.
Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, "Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible."
According to a social media post by Zelensky on Tuesday, he said, quote, "Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace." And he also said Ukraine is ready to sign a mineral rights agreement with the United States. And to get further insights, again, we can take a look at the betting markets. So when it comes to a general Ukraine-Russia ceasefire, at some point in 2025, the odds are now at 74%, recently jumping from 60 all the way to this level. When it comes to the mineral deal, the odds of Ukraine agreeing to such a deal before April is at 77%. We also have this, which is a slightly different perspective on the situation, giving the probability of the US recognizing Russian sovereignty over Ukrainian land, and this sits at only 37%. And the odds of Ukraine doing a similar thing, recognizing Russian sovereignty over their territory in 2025, this sits at an even lower 24% chance. Now, despite all this turbulence between Trump and Zelensky, his popularity is still very strong, and the odds of Zelensky being ousted as president before July is very minimal. And finally, the odds of the United States completely severing ties with Ukraine before May are essentially nothing. Just 5%. And I do want to close on the ongoing drama around trade policy and tariffs. Now, this was the breaking news yesterday, Tuesday, March 4th, but the whole situation is developing very fast. And since enacting these tariffs, all three parties, Canada, Mexico, and China, have issued some form of retaliatory measures. But it does appear that as early as today, one day after the tariffs went into effect, they could be altered or rolled back in some way. In fact, when it comes to the betting markets, the odds that these tariffs are reduced today, Wednesday, March 5th, are sitting at 77%. So it does seem likely that trade is going to be moving in a positive direction when it comes to Canada and Mexico. The exception here is when it comes to China. It appears that here the tariff battle is going to persist, if not escalate. With China saying, quote, "If war is what the US wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end." And here the odds of tariff removal by May are very low, less than 10%. And with that, that's your update for the latest breaking news, March 5th, 2025.